What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about off-body carry. Now, I don't think this is as much anymore, but it used to be a very polarizing topic for people. People were either very for it or very against it. There was a time where a large portion of the everyday carry community said, no, you should wear the exact same thing every single day. That way you can carry everything the exact same way every single time, be able to wear your gun in your waistband, never change from that. Thankfully, I think these days that has changed a lot, where people are accepting of the idea that your day-to-day life is going to be different. Some days you're going to be able to carry your stuff the exact same way that you do every single day, and other days life's just going to be different. You're going to be wearing shorts, or you're going to be wearing athletic shorts, or something that you just can't carry your normal stuff. A good example of this for me is when I go to jiu-jitsu. I don't know how many of you have ever done jiu-jitsu. If you have not, I highly recommend it, especially as a guy. I think it is essential that you learn how to get in some form of a fight. Jiu-jitsu is a great way to do that. To do that, community is typically really good, and it's really good for you. It's a good workout. Anyways, I digress. So when I go to class, if whether or not we're doing gi or no gi, I normally dress for class when I go. So if we're doing gi, I'm wearing my gi pants and a rash guard, or if it's no gi, I'm wearing gym shorts and a rash guard. And neither of those really have good pockets. Gi pants don't have any pockets. The only thing I've got onto it is like this little string that I can hook my keys to, and that's it. And then gym shorts, some of mine have pockets, some of them don't. Typically, I wear the ones that don't have pockets in them. So I don't have anywhere to put any of my stuff, even stuff like my keys in my wallet. I don't have anywhere to put them. Another good example is when I go running. I like to run with my phone, my keys, and with a firearm, some medical, and all my other stuff. I like having all my stuff on me. But again, I'm in running shorts, don't really have any pockets, don't have any good pockets, and even if you do, they don't have good support, so stuff just kind of flops around in them. It's not good for keeping everything where it should be and carrying stuff with you. They're not designed for that. So in those types of cases, my bag of choice is the Eberlestock Bando Bag. This is the regular version. I do not own the XL to be able to compare it to this. Maybe at some point, if you guys want to see it, I can get one, and then we can do a comparison between the two of them and really show you the differences. When I originally bought this, the XL did not exist, but I've looked at some videos of it, and I've also seen it in pictures, and for me personally, I think it's just a little too big. I'm an average sized guy, and I think it would look weird on me, just based off of photos. The regular size is a really good size for me. I can still keep all of the staples of my everyday carry in it. I can put a flashlight, a knife in it. I can have my phone, my keys, my wallet, some form of medical, and my firearm all inside of this bag. Now, I will say, they do advertise that you can put a full-size Glock 19 in this bag, and that very well may be true. However, my Glock, which has a light and a optic, does not fit in this bag. So a bone stock Glock 19 may be able to fit inside this back pouch, but mine does not. So there is a different firearm in this bag, and we will get to that later in the video. So with all that being said, let's go ahead, put this on the workbench, and let's get into it.
All right, so this is the Eberlestock Bando Bag. Like I said, it is my off-body carry bag of choice. So some quick stats on this guy. This bag is 9 1/4 inches wide, 5 1/4 tall, and 3 inches wide. It's got 3 main big pockets. This little one here in the front, this big main one here, and then this pocket in the back, which is the concealed carry pocket. Let's real quick look at the strap for this guy. I really like their design of it. It has this hoop system on it that makes it so that you don't have any extra material sticking off of this, whether you make it as wide as it can or as narrow as you can make it. There is no extra material hanging off of you that you're having to like bundle up and zip tie off or anything like that. This strap goes from 31.5 inches around to 44 inches around. That makes it so that you can either go around your waist or crossbody. I carry this in the around the waist configuration. So I have this thing loaded out in the way I would have it when I go to jiu-jitsu. When I go running, there's typically less stuff in here, and we'll talk about some things that are in here specifically for while I am running. We'll go ahead and start here with this front pocket. The only thing that I keep in here is my keys. When I go running or when I'm at jiu-jitsu, these go in the front pocket here. Makes it really simple and easy. There's nothing else for them to get caught on. This is not a very big pocket. Makes it so that I can get to them very easily, and I always know right where they're at. Next, we'll go into the big pocket. So when I open this guy up, the first thing you're going to notice is this band right here. I've had this bag for 4 years, I think, and when I bought it, they did not have this elastic strap in there. This is a relatively new thing. I don't know when they added it, but when I was doing some research to make this video, you know, going and looking up how big this thing was, I was hoping for a liter count, but I got dimensions instead. I saw that they added a strap up here at the top, and I had been thinking that I wanted a different way to carry the tourniquet, because originally I was putting a tourniquet in this front pocket and it took up extra room because this pocket doesn't expand out, it goes in. So if you put something in here that's big and bulky like a tourniquet, it crowds the space inside of the bag and makes everything harder to use. But there's all this dead space right at the top whenever you put stuff into here. So when I saw that they did that, I cut some elastic off of some other pieces of gear that I've got that I don't really use. They've been sitting in a box for forever. Cut a piece of that off, sewed it in here, and I made my own strap to hold a tourniquet in the top portion of this bag where it's out of the way, but I can still get to it very easily. I do think I'm going to be replacing this strap with a thinner one. I think it's Snake Systems tourniquet that I'm going to try to use instead of this one, because it stays out of the way for everything like that, but this part right here is a little bulky when it goes down. It kind of catches a little bit. It's just not super seamless. I think it could be better, and we always try to improve things around here. So this may change, but a tourniquet will be up top in this bag always. Moving inside here, the only thing that I put typically in this main pocket is my phone. It's because it slides right in. I don't have to worry about it getting caught on anything. I'm using it pretty often, so my phone goes right inside that nice big pocket. Makes it really easy to get to. As you look down inside here, you'll see a big mesh pocket in the back, and then these two little pockets in the front here. On one side, I'll throw my wallet into it, and then on the other side is stuff that does not leave this bag. It always stays in here, and it's in there so that I'm not having to go grab my lights and throw it in here, or grab knives and throw it in here, so that it's not stuff that I'll forget. So that's what's over in this side of the pocket. So I have a knife over here. I have no idea what the name of this knife is, but it is a Kershaw. It's a Ken Onion design. Maybe somebody down in the comments can tell me. That number right there is 1620 patented Ken Onion design. I'd like to know what the name of this thing is. It's a very nice little knife, little utilitarian. It has a little lock down here, which is one of the reasons why it's in this bag. Since it's not like in a pocket or something like that, it's in here where I can't see it. I don't really want it opening. So having this little lock on the knife makes it the perfect little knife to go in this bag, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. So next in this pocket, I have a light. This is the Woobin G5 in black. And this light is really cool for a couple of reasons. And there's one feature in particular that is why I keep it in this bag. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But the first big reason is because it is super compact. It is, I mean, I can basically hide the thing in my hand, and it's very thin. For a very long time, I carried something like the 1R Baton 2 in the bag, which this is a very small light as well. It's about as tall as it, and naturally in this direction it's thinner, but it's very wide. All the way around it's a big cylinder, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does take up extra space. Whereas this, it's pretty flat, it's wider, but it's flat, so that means that it fits into the lines of the bag much easier. And when I hold it up to something like a Zippo lighter, it is not much bigger at all, which is super cool. Quick stats on this guy. We've got 2 LEDs in it. One is a white light, the other is an RGB light. The white light has a max output of 400 lumens. And over here on the side, they've got this little slider, which that locks it out. So I can't turn this thing on if it's in the bag. If that's all the way down, it's not going to accidentally turn on when it's in my bag here. I have to slide it up. And there's right to there is where it turns on. But anywhere from there, all the way up to there, it will turn on. So you don't have to get super precise with it. You just have to push up on it and then press the button. And since we're pressing this all the way up, we'll go ahead and look. There is a USB-C charger here in the side of this. There are no batteries to be taken out of it. It is simply a rechargeable battery. This little scroll wheel here on the side. So we turn this little guy on. As you scroll this little wheel, it'll get brighter and dimmer. And if you press and hold, it will switch to the RGB light, which you can scroll through all of the colors using that same wheel. And one feature of this, which is a big reason why it's in this bag, is if you're in the RGB mode and you double click, it's got a beacon mode where the little light will flash. It's not super bright, but it's bright enough that if I'm running when it's darker outside, I can clip this to my bag and it will make it much easier for drivers to be able to see me. Like I mentioned before, I run on the road, so there's an inherent danger to that. This makes it so that I can be more easily seen by people. This RGB light is only 10 lumens, but what that means is that it will run for a very, very long time. Don't have to worry about it running out of battery while I am running, if I'm running for 40 minutes or something like that. The other cool feature about this guy is this little head does turn 180 degrees, makes it so you can point it in any direction. And that is nice, so that if I'm using it like a regular flashlight, for whatever reason, I can hold it like this, straight out for me. Or if I'm using it in beacon mode, I just turn the head down, and then I take the little pocket clip, pull it out, and I can rotate it back this way so I can actually clip it on, like I was saying before. So this little light is very cool. Also, I just want to say thank you to Woobin for actually sending this to me. They did not pay me to say anything nice about it or anything like that. They just said, hey, you want to try this light out? Sent it out to me. Thank you to them for that. There will be a link to everything, as many things in this video as I can, but this guy in particular, there's a affiliate link below. If you want to check this out, or actually any of their products, do me a favor and use that link to buy something. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it means that I get a little something back from marketing a little bit for them, and that just kind of helps out the channel. Next in the bag is the big mesh pocket here in the bag. Now this pocket is missing a couple of things because I've had to move some stuff around, but this is my medical kit section of my bag. I need to get a new quick clot to put in here and a couple things of gauze to put in here. Right now all I've got is a little boo-boo kit. It is Band-Aids, alcohol pads, and some what is generic neosporin, and just a little baggie so that I can use it. The other thing is nitrile gloves, 2 pairs I believe is in this little baggie, because if something happens and I roll up on either a person or an animal or something like that, I don't know where they've been, I don't want to necessarily touch them with my bare hands. This makes it so that I don't have to. Now let's get into the really fun part, and what makes this quite possibly the best off-body carry bag I think on the market, and that is the big pocket in the back. The way that they have this set up is it does have 2 zippers, that way it is ambidextrous. so you can pull from either side. I am a right-handed person, so I took this bottom loop off. That way I only have this one, so I don't accidentally grab the bottom one and pull when I'm trying to get my firearm out. So you just grab it, pull, open her up, and there is your firearm. So real quick, for the sake of YouTube, we'll look. Mag is dropped. I cleared the gun before, just to show you guys how it fit in here with the mag in place, but we will go ahead and pull that out of it. So typically what I keep in the back here is a Springfield Armory Hellcat with a Hex Wasp optic on it. This is the optic that came with this gun. It is the optic that is made by Springfield that came on the firearm. It's not my favorite sight ever. It feels a little small, but it does its job. I've dropped it before. It held 0. I actually dropped it. You can see, you can see some wear marks, but these right here in particular are from where I dropped this gun on its optic while it was loaded onto concrete. How I ended up there is not important, but it fell out of my hands, hit the concrete, and did not lose 0. So it holds up super well. I've got no complaints when it comes to that portion of it. On the front end here, I've got a Streamlight TLR 7X sub. It's a really good light. We've already talked about this gun some in the everyday carry update for summer 2025. If you haven't watched that, go check it out, see what I carry on a regular day-to-day basis. But this is the gun that normally ends up in this bag. I do also sometimes end up putting my M&P shield in the back here if I'm using this somewhere else, or like if my wife is going to take this one, then I'll grab the shield and put it in the back here. So another upgrade that I've done to this bag is this little strap right here. I got my gun out of the way so we can see a little bit easier. All this is a piece of nylon webbing that I sewed into place on either side. And the whole reason that I've got this in here is because I did not like the system that they had for this. This hook and loop is really good for modularity, being able to put holsters in if you got Velcro holsters and things like that. But I didn't want to have to buy a second holster just to be inside this bag. I just want to be able to grab my gun in its holster, put it in place, move on with my day, not have to shuffle things around a whole bunch. So what I did was I took this piece of nylon, cut it to length, put it in here, set my gun where I wanted it to be, which was somewhere between here and here, depending upon what gun was in here, and then marked off where I wanted to do, sewed this in place, and this makes it so that I can hook my whole holster into this pocket and it will hold like it's on a belt. It's got some extra material on the inside of it to make it a little more rigid. What they originally send with this is a little Velcro elastic band, which is fine for some people. I just wanted something a little more secure to be able to hold my firearm in, so I wanted my Kydex sheath back here, put it in, and not have to worry about it. So this was a modification that I did. It wasn't super hard to do. I highly recommend if you get one of these to do something like this. I think this is a major upgrade that you could do to it. I understand why they don't necessarily do it. I think there's a way they could more standardize where this would go in theory, or do a couple of them in here that would allow you to hook a gun in here, but then that might interrupt the hook and loop pattern. So maybe it's not actually feasible for them to do it, but I really think that they should consider adding in strapping for you to be able to just put your whole holster into here instead of having to put a Velcro holster into the back. And that's really it. I don't put a whole lot in this bag because it's not super big, and I don't really want it packed out with stuff because then it's hard to get to everything. Something that I need to add to this is probably a multi-tool. I need to get a mini multi-tool to add to this. I believe Leatherman makes what's called the Squirt I think is the name of it, and maybe I'd get one of those and put that in this bag so I have one. That's the only thing I feel as if that is missing from this kit that I would normally have on me every day. Alright guys, so that's going to do it. That is everything that goes into my off-body carry bag. Once again, this is the Eberlestock Bando Bag, regular sized. I'll put links to as many things down there as I can. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe, and share this with a friend who you think would enjoy it, or somebody you think would like to hear about this information, or even just has something that they might be able to add to the conversation for this. I want to hear from you guys what type of stuff you carry, if you ever have to carry off-body, and whether or not you think that off-body carry is a viable option, or do I just need to suck it up and wear jeans everywhere. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Remember, train hard, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.